Welcome back to a live OTR. Time for our Sunday Roundtable. As we respect social distancing, we are joined this morning by Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh, Republican political analyst Ginny Buckingham. Great to have you with us, guys. We're waving in our Brady boxes, but good morning.
Good morning.
Marianne and Ginny, thanks for being here. You heard the mayor this morning, and you heard about why he has decided that construction should not be allowed in Boston right now, even though Governor Charlie Baker is making the complete opposite decision, although he is putting caveats and very strict rules in place. Who's right about this, do you think? Let's go to you, Marianne, first.
Well, look, Marty Walsh clearly showed his discomfort at resuming construction in Boston for two reasons. One, Boston's a very dense place. There are cranes everywhere, construction everywhere, and he worked in the trades. He knows what it's like to be safe or not safe. So for Boston and for Marty Walsh, he's made the right decision. For the rest of the state, it could be very different because no one has the kind of density and construction that Boston does. So I think it has to be on a case-by-case basis.
Ginny, do you think this is going to hurt the city in the long term?
No, what I heard was that he's moving towards being able to allow construction to go forward. He wants some extra safety in place that's perfectly reasonable. He also doesn't want half-empty buildings that are abandoned and that very delicate balance with financing evaporate so that we aren't able to move forward on these projects in the long run. I think it's a balance and he's striking it.
Let's talk about Governor Baker. He stepped up his aggressiveness. He is now verbally expressing his anger with the federal government's unresponsiveness. And he's telling out-of-staters arriving here to self-quarantine his normally placid demeanor is stern. Are you surprised? Ginny, let me start with you.
Look, I think he is frustrated. He's been very honest about that, and I think he's expressing it, and I think that's totally reasonable. What I would like to see is Charlie Baker and other governors and mayors like Mayor Walsh call for a national pandemic commission to figure out how this went so bad, what is wrong with the way we set up our national stockpile, and perhaps the governors ought to be the ones that run it, or perhaps the military, as Mayor Walsh said, but clearly what we're doing now isn't working.
Ginny? I'm sorry, Marianne.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to understand why Charlie Baker and Marty Walsh are upset, and you don't need a commission to know, I'm going to give you three facts. Number one, Donald Trump's first briefing on COVID-19 or coronavirus was December 22nd, 2019, 3 days before Christmas. Then on February 7th, 2020, he sent 17.8 tons of supplies to China. Gowns, masks, respirators, ventilators, everything Marty Walsh, everything Charlie Baker, everything every governor and mayor in the country wants, Donald Trump sent to China. Last but not least, we found out last night that Massachusetts only got 17% of the supplies they asked for. Why? Because Donald Trump decided to send them to Florida, to the most irresponsible governor in the country, DeSantis, who has not shut down Florida, has not shut down the beaches, let spring break go on, and those kids went home across the country and infected his entire state and the country, yet he got everything he asked for 2 weeks ago, he got everything he asked for last week, and he's about to get another shipment. That is what's wrong here. Donald Trump is playing politics with people's lives. That's what everyone should understand.
So I don't think there's politics involved here. I think that's giving them way too much credit.
No.
I think it's a totally messed up system that moved from the CDC to HHS, and now it's being run by FEMA. No one knows what's what, and that is why we do need a commission that's going to sort out how this should be handled. It's too late now. We have to react to facts on the ground. But this is not going to be the last time we face something like this, and we have to be ready.
Ginny, those are the facts on the ground. Not one Democratic governor is getting anything they're asking for until the pressure is brought on. Ask Michigan, ask Illinois, ask New York, ask California. Go down the list. California got 170 ventilators yesterday that were broken. Okay, so people aren't getting what they're asking for, and when they do, it's too little, too late.
Let's move on.
What Mayor Walsh didn't do is play politics and lay blame. He's being a statesman and a leader, and that's what we need right now.
They don't want to be. They don't want to be punished. But you can tell by Charlie Baker's reaction at his presser on Friday and Marty Walsh's demeanor today. They know if they say what I just said, they will be punished.
Let's move on to what Baker isn't doing. He's not going as far as Rhode Island and tracking down New Yorkers coming into the state. Which do you think is better, best practice? Let's start with you, Ginny.
So, I think there's going to be overreactions and there's going to be underreactions, and I think we're going to have to judge that in the long term. They're doing what they think is the right thing for their city, for their state now, and let's see how it plays out.
Marianne?
Yeah, I agree with Jenny on that one. I mean, I'm a Gina Raimondo fan. She's doing what she thinks is best for Rhode Island. Charlie Baker's doing what he thinks is best for Massachusetts. He's definitely picked up the pace in the last few weeks. Everyone has to do what they think is in their best interest.
Which is essentially what the Mayor Walsh said this morning as well.
We continue on The Record. Stay with us.